George Zimmerman is in trouble with the law again. In fact, this involves another case of domestic violence, his fourth instance of domestic violence since 2012. Now, the recent case includes him throwing a wine bottle at his girlfriend. Authorities were called, and he has been charged with aggravated assault and domestic violence. Now, again, this is the fourth time since 2012, just so I can recount all the other incidents he's been involved in since the Trayvon Martin shooting. There was a road rage incident where he pulled up next to someone and allegedly pointed a gun at him and said, "Do you know who I am? I will kill you." He also got into another domestic violence incident with his girlfriend where he allegedly pointed a gun at her. He got into a domestic violence incident with his estranged wife where he broke her iPad on camera. We showed you guys that surveillance. Anyway, George Zimmerman getting into a lot of trouble, and his attorney, Don West, who did defend him during the Trayvon Martin case, said the following: "It's clear he hasn't been very lucky with the ladies the last few months."
That's not how I would phrase it.
Right.
Okay. But look at one of the other things that it does, other than sounding incredibly obnoxious. He just got unlucky with the ladies. It implies the ladies are the ones at fault. If he'd gotten the right ladies, he wouldn't have to keep beating them.
Right.
Right? If they just knew their place and did whatever George told them, do they know who he is?
Okay. He will kill you.
He will kill you,
Yeah.
right? And that goes to what happens if there are no consequences, right? So it's the same thing with cops. In Albuquerque, for example, we had good news today because the cops who shot that homeless man executed him. We've showed you that before, James Boyd, right? Finally, they were arrested on murder charges. But Albuquerque had the highest rate of cop shootings, cops shooting citizens, right? And no one had ever been charged. Well, if the cops keep shooting and killing people and they never get charged, well, obviously they're going to think, well, there's no harm in it. There's no downside to it, so I'm going to keep doing it. Zimmerman, he's like, I shot and killed somebody. He was unarmed. I was armed. I chased him down. I started the fight. I got away with it. Well, then I guess the lesson I learned is I can start any fight I like, do violence against anybody I like, and I'm going to get away with it.
Right.
Do you know who I am?
When people treat you in a way that makes you think that you're above the law, you will act as though you are above the law. And that's what's happened over and over again with George Zimmerman. Now, in this case, he did get charged. Authorities took all of his guns away from him. I mean, the fact that after all of this, he had multiple weapons is amazing to me. But nonetheless, we live in America, and that's allowed.
They even gave him the gun back that he shot Trayvon Martin with.
Yeah.
But the other part of this we're not talking about is that it's not just that he got away with it. He was celebrated by a portion of this country, certainly not the majority of the country, but a significant portion of the country made him into a hero, into a folk hero. They're the ones who he visited the gun factory that produced that gun.
Yeah.
And they were proud to take pictures of, oh, this is the guy who shot the unarmed black kid. Yay! And if you get celebrated for just doing something, you think, maybe I should do it again. And then the 3 other domestic violence charges that he also got away with, right? So he thinks, rightfully so, he literally believes, for good reason, that he is above the law. So, you know, until they prove otherwise, he's going to keep doing it.
Yeah. And for all the people who defended him in the Trayvon Martin case and said, hey, you know what? He's just protecting his neighborhood from a thug. I mean, is this the kind of guy you want protecting you and your wife and your daughters? I mean, is this the kind of guy that you would feel safe around? Someone that would pull up next to your car, point a gun at you and ask you, do you know who I am? I can fucking kill you, basically.
I assume that they think that all of his wives and girlfriends were all thugs. Well, it depends. Did they ever wear a hoodie? If they did, maybe they had it coming.